Good evening, folks. Today is lesson 123. I thank my father for his gifts to me. Samir, I think you had a question before we
My
start.
my question is regards to impatience and ego. What is the relationship between impatience and ego, and what is the relationship between equanimity and ego?
Okay. Well, we talked about imagine two sorts of timing. Okay. We like to simplify everything because truth is simple, no matter what the ego says about it. Okay. There's the ego's timing. Okay. And the ego's idea of time will always lead you to conflict and chaos and worry and anxiousness and fear and doubt. Okay. Because the ego says it has to happen right now in point A. If it doesn't happen in point A, then something's wrong. Or you're not good enough, or they're not good enough, or not whatever's not good enough. Okay? That's one way of looking at it. The ego's timing. The other way is to trust divine timing. That says whenever you get there is when you're supposed to get there. Because it's divinely designed for you to be always on time, in quotes, on time. And so when you're trusting in the divine design, then you always do the best you can, of course, to get there on time in the duality of this world. But no matter what happens during that process of getting there, you know that you're always going to get there exactly when God needs you there. And because of that, you're always going to have peace in regards to getting there at a certain time. And so, was that the first question about the ego's timing?
And regarding equanimity and ego,
Equanimity. What's equanimity exactly?
peace of mind,
Peace of mind and ego.
like calm.
Calm?
Yeah.
Calm and ego. Well, I mean, if you follow the ego's mindset, you're never going to be calm. You're never going to achieve calmness. If you're following love's lens, which we're going to look at today, look at today is how do we get to that calming place, or how do we get to that place of peace? And this lesson will speak about that a little bit today. So hopefully we'll answer your question as we're doing this lesson. Okay. Lesson 123, I thank my father for his gifts to me. It's 8 paragraphs. We'll do 2 at a time, and we'll try to do it in under an hour, if possible. Okay, I'll read the first 2. Today, let us be thankful. Wendy. We have come to a gentler path.
Call me out.
We have come to gentler pathways and to smoother roads. There is no thought of turning back and no implacable resistance to the truth. A bit of wavering remains, some small objections, and a little resistance or hesitance. But you can well be grateful for your gains, which are far greater than you realize. Paragraph 2. A day devoted now to gratitude will add the benefit of some insight into the real extent of all the gains which you have made, the gifts you have received. Be glad today in loving thankfulness. Your Father has not left you to yourself, nor left you wandering in the dark alone. Be grateful he has saved you from the self you thought you made to take the place of him and his creation. Give him thanks today. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's check this out. Today let us be thankful. We have come up to gentler pathways and smoother roads. Okay. When you view the world through love's lens, then you have a smoother pathway to peace of mind and joy. Okay, so we have come to gentler pathways and smoother roads because we're choosing to see the world through love's lens instead of the ego's lens. Okay, that's sentence number 2, paragraph 1. There is no thought of turning back. There's no thought to turning back to the ego's way of viewing the world through its judgment-centered, fear-based mindset. And then sentence number 4, paragraph 1. A bit of wavering remains, some small objections, and you're still going to have some forms of judgments. And so the ego's past programming is still going to capture you every now and then. So don't punish yourself when that happens. And so, but be grateful for your gains. Just see how far you've come, which are far greater than you realize. We've all come far closer to peace than we realize. Okay, that's paragraph 1. A day devoted now to gratitude will add the benefit of some insight. Okay, so paragraph 2, sentence number 1. And so if we want to find that path to peace, if we want to be aligned with peace as our companion, then it's useful to maybe when you wake up, say, I'm going to dedicate this day to practice being more grateful than I usually am. Practice remembering that God always has my best interest in mind. And so when you align consciously with a state of gratitude, then your path to peace will be a lot smoother. Your path to, as you were asking for, calmness will be a lot smoother if you make the conscious decision to make gratitude your constant companion. And so if you want calmness, then make gratitude your constant companion and make the conscious decision to see the world only through love's lens, not the ego's lens. And when you're viewing the world through love's lens, guess what? You have calmness. When you're viewing the world through the ego's lens, guess what? You do not have calmness. And so your calmness, the calmness that you're searching for, is simply one choice away. It's not complicated. It's simply which lens am I going to choose to view the world through today? Which lens am I going to choose to see this interaction today? One will lead you to peace and calmness, and one will lead you to a lack of peace and a lack of calmness. Your father has not left you to yourself, sentence number 2, paragraph 2, nor let you wander in the dark alone. And that's saying that no matter how dramatic the situation gets, God is always there with you. All you have to do is look his way, look through his lens, and he is there. Sentence number 3, be grateful he has saved you from the self you thought you made, from the self your ego made, or the self that you think you are, which was defined by the ego. Any comments or questions on paragraph 1 and 2?
No, but I want to volunteer to read the next 2.
All right, let's see if anybody has any more comments or questions on paragraph 1 and 2.
Well, I don't have a question on 1 or 2, but I have a general question, which is, my understanding is our egos are a set of rules we've made up in our mind. Should be like this, and if you're not like that, then you should be like that. So if somebody is, like, for example, having things that are not in his best, impatient or judgment, does that mean they've spent more time practicing their rules and not practice the rules that that should work for them? They've been their own um, enemy longer than they should have. They've practiced things that are not in their best interest.
Yeah, so you have a certain amount of programming from your past, from your ego, right? And if that programming does not lead you to peace, but you still choose to support that programming and you thus reinforce it and thus solidify it in yourself, you are what you were just saying, the worst enemy. And so, yeah, if you're experiencing any interaction or situation with less than peace, It's simply because you have programmed yourself to do so. You know, maybe other people, maybe you learn from other people, and those other people were not at peace, but you still learn from them.
Mhm.
So if they lack peace, why do you think you will not lack peace? If they traveled to a dead end road and you go behind them, guess what? You're going to end up in a dead end road. And so why not try doing the opposite of what the ego is recommending or demanding? If you lack peace because you're in judgment or resentful, then hey, maybe try forgiveness, or maybe try compassion, or maybe try understanding, or maybe try trusting in the divine design. There are many doorways to peace, to calmness. And so if you're not calm, simply because you've been programmed to think in a way that does not lead you or does not align you with the mind of God.
Mhm, mhm.
All right. I
Thank
think,
you.
Mike, you want to say something? I saw your lip.
Sure, sure. You know, we're all somewhere along the path. Okay, some of us are closer to being at peace. This is a world of levels. You know, some of us are closer to being at peace. Some of us are somewhat in the middle. Some of us are very far from being at peace. We're all somewhere along the path. And when you observe a brother who's very much into the ego and you recognize how self-destructive the ego mentality is, that's a gift to you. It's your gift to you that, oh yes, I'm able to see that. I'm able to see this brother caught up very strongly into the ego mentality and how destructive that is, how self-destructive that is. It allows you to make a better choice.
I have a question about that, Mike.
Yeah.
And I think people in recovery are the best person to answer this. So how is how is the ego related to addictive behaviors or compulsions or things like that?
Yeah, addictive behaviors are ego defenses. Okay. We feel that there's something wrong with us. We feel that we're empty, there's something lacking in us, and we don't want to look at that. So one way not to look at that is to get drunk. You know, just get drunk and you don't have to think about it. Addictions are an ego defense. And it's a very dysfunctional defense, some more dysfunctional than others. You know, alcohol, for example, is pretty dysfunctional because, yeah, you get drunk and you forget about all your problems, you know, but your problems know how to swim. You can't drown your problems, you know, and the next morning it's even worse because you threw up on the bed or you now have a terrible headache. So ego defenses are always self-destructive. Some of them are more self-destructive than others. You know, addiction to cocaine and stuff like that, it's pretty self-destructive. Addiction to chocolate, you know, that's not too bad.
You reading my mind? Just kidding.
I can't stop eating a whole bag of M&Ms whenever I open it up. It's like this big.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
used to joke that we're going to start a new program called Chocoholics Anonymous, and then I found out that it already exists. There's already a Chocoholics Anonymous.
For real? Come on.
Yeah, there is.
Where people have to practice abstinence and stuff?
I guess I haven't checked that out. Maybe it's just kind of a joke type of
That's
thing.
what I was thinking. It's probably just for people who love chocolate.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But there is such a thing somewhere out there. I haven't checked it out.
All right, Wendy, go ahead and read 3 and 4.
Okay. let's see. Give thanks that he has not abandoned you, and that his love forever will remain shining on you, forever without change. Sorry, there's an airplane going over. I can read through it, or we can just wait a second.
No, we couldn't hear it.
Yeah, we can't hear.
Oh, the airplane was in the way?
No,
Couldn't-
hear the
we couldn't hear the airplane.
Oh, okay. Give thanks as well that you are changeless, for the Son he loves is changeless as himself. Be grateful that you are saved. Be glad you have a function in salvation to fulfill. Be thankful that your value far transcends your meager gifts and petty judgments of the one whom God established as his Son. Today, in gratitude, we lift our hearts above despair and raise our thankful eyes, no longer looking downward to the dust. We sing the song of thankfulness today in honor of the self that God has willed to be our true identity in him. Today, we smile on everyone we see and walk with lightened footsteps as we go to do what is appointed us to do.
All right. Today we smile on everyone we see. I mean, that's all you need to that's all the instruction that you need, really. Just make a conscious decision when you wake up tomorrow or today, and say to yourself, today I'm going to smile on everyone I see. Okay. And when you smile on everyone you see, you look at this, the title of the lesson. I thank my Father for his gifts to me. Okay. So my brothers and sisters are his gifts to me. So when I smile upon my brothers and sisters, I give myself the gift of peace, of joy, of happiness. And so paragraph 3, sentence number 1, give thanks that he has not abandoned you, and that his love forever will remain shining on you, forever without change. And so give thanks that in any moment you can choose God and thus achieve the state of peace. You can choose to see the world and your brothers and sisters as God does. And when you do, peace results. So no matter what the story is, God has not abandoned you. So no matter how conflicted the ego is in regards to the dramatic story that it's trying to tell you, all you have to do is remind yourself, God has not abandoned me. I'm always just one simple and gentle choice away from aligning my mind with the mind of God, no matter what the story is. And that's the beauty of the Course. It doesn't tell you, listen, you have 1,000 problems and you have to solve them 1,000 different ways. That's not what the Course says. The Course always says there's one problem and there's one solution. The one problem is that you're thinking out of alignment with the mind of God. And the one solution is to bring your mind back into alignment with the mind of God, with love. And so it's very, very simple. And all you have to do is execute it. Execute the simple choice over and over again until it becomes natural and normal to think in alignment with God, with love. So don't let the ego tell you that this is hard. This is actually very easy. All you have to do is practice. As Mike says, practice gets you to Carnegie Hall. Practice gets you to heaven, to the heavenly state of mind. And so be grateful that you always have that choice.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Just following in Samir's footsteps of asking things that aren't specifically in the text. My question is this. So if everything is the mind of God, is there any physical reality according to the Course ever? Anywhere? Or is this just a thought? Everything is just God's thought.
The thing about that is that's level 1. Yes, it does say that in reality, in eternity, this earth is just a thought that started, it came into being at some point, and at some point it'll fall into some sun somewhere or be hit by a, you know, yeah,
Not
everything.
just this thought, not just this Earth. I'm talking the universe, galaxies. Is any of that anything? Is it just a thought bubble in God's mind? Is there
Yeah,
anything other than thought?
yeah. What the course says is that there's no way that we can understand that.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
level. That's level one, and you know, you can get some kind of intellectual concept to help you function. And that's what the course gives us. It tells us a reflection of love into this crazy world will change it from hell to heaven for you. Will change it from a nightmare to a happy dream. And that's what the course is about. It's not about understanding the universe or the universe of universes or eternity or any of that stuff. As long as we believe that we exist in this physical world, we're not going to understand that. You know, the course gives us a intellectual framework that we can use to be at peace, to be reasonably happy in this world right now, instead of a nightmare. The course says somewhere this course remains within the ego framework where it is needed. The only reason we need this course is that we're living in a life that's not peace, joy, and love. It's, oh my God, yeah, you know, I want peace, but how can I be peaceful when this person said that? And, you know, it's about healing that. It's about being at peace here. The Course also says, heaven is here, there is no other place. Heaven is now, there is no other time. This course is about being in heaven right now with everything that's going on. You know, somebody sent you a nasty email. Yeah, okay, I see that's a nasty email. But I'm at peace. I don't have to let that propel me into hell.
Paragraph 3, sentence 4. You have a function in salvation to fulfill. And today, you look at the lesson, and it says, I thank my Father for his gifts to me. So your function to fulfill in salvation today is to align with God's gifts. Love's gifts, such as kindness, charity, joy, peace, healing, hope, mercy, grace, all those are God's gifts to you. And that's your function today to fulfill. And then paragraph 4, sentence 1. Today in gratitude, we lift our hearts above despair. Okay, we go from level 2 to level 1. We go from duality to oneness. And raise our thankful eyes, now that we're in oneness, our eyes are thankful, no longer looking downward towards level 2 to the dust, towards the delusion of the ego's mindset and world. And so here, like Charles always liked to say, we raise ourselves above the battlefield. We get into level 1 as we are in level 2, but we bring level 1 into level 2. We bring love into fear. We bring forgiveness into judgment. We bring light into darkness. And that's our lesson for today. Then paragraph 4, sentence 5, I believe. Today we smile on everyone we see. I just love that one. And walk with lightened footsteps as we go to do what is appointed to us. Okay. So each day we go to do what is appointed to us. So each day we are appointed certain individuals that will come into our daily experience, and we're there to offer them God's gift, to show them that God's gifts, our Father's gifts, are available also to them, that they are also worthy of God's gifts. So everybody that you meet today, aka tomorrow, you have to remember, okay, my function, to fulfill my function today, I have to smile upon everybody I see, and I have to offer everybody that I see only God's gifts, because we're all one. And so if I offer God's gifts to everybody, I get to experience it myself, and then I reinforce it within myself. And then the more natural and normal that behavior to think in alignment with God becomes. And so each and every person that you meet, what are they really offering you? They offering you the opportunity to practice thinking like God thinks. And so no matter what the ego tells you about them, okay, and the ego will tell you 1,000 different things about them, what they're truly doing is giving you the opportunity to practice aligning your mind with the mind of God, seeing this world through God's eyes, love's lens. And so when you recognize what each and every person is really offering you, gratitude becomes your response to them. And so if your response to them is not gratitude, then you're not seeing what they are truly offering you. Okay? So
But often you sometimes the opportunity to forgive. Let's say someone comes and tries to copy your articles, copyright, and then you know who is the person. So it's giving you the opportunity to forgive. It's giving you the opportunity to understand his ego, stealing your, let's say, your book. How will you react to that? When someone is doing something, like that, obnoxious.
You do whatever is the loving thing to do in that case. We're here only to be truly helpful. Is it helpful to say, okay, well, that's okay, you can do that, that's no problem? Would that be helpful to that person?
No.
No, that wouldn't be helpful. I'll give you a easier to see example. Let's say you have a friend who is an alcoholic and comes, oh, I'm really out of money. I need some money to go buy a bottle of booze. Would you give me some money, to go buy a bottle of booze? What would be the loving thing to say? What do you think?
To buy a bottle of what?
A bottle of liquor.
Oh, bottle of liquor. No.
Wouldn't it be loving to that person to say, no, I'm not going to give you the money to go get drunk? Wouldn't that be
I remember one beggar one day was in the corner, and he would say, I just want $1 for a beer. And he would have his sign on the corner of the street, I want $1 for the beer. I counted the dollar because it was so funny, and he was so sincere, like he was so honest. But yeah, if that liquor is going to affect that, I know that this person, when he drinks, becomes a chaos, becomes a troublemaker, I will not. But if it's happy because it's his birthday, wants to buy a couple of wine bottles or whiskeys and is asking me for some money for that because wants to celebrate, it depends on the situation. And I think as in this loving reaction, when I was saying about this, someone, stealing your identity or stealing, your rights about something, that reaction is the proper reaction. I imagine you will call your lawyer, you will find out, what's going on, stop this guy, and will be upset. It will be upsetting, and I guess.
Yeah, is it loving to let that person go ahead and live his life out, trying to cheat people everywhere and stuff like that? Is that a loving thing to do?
No, of course not.
No. Now, forgiveness means that person is not some kind of evil jerk. You recognize that that person is in pain, and they're trying to deal with their pain by taking advantage of others. Okay, that's what forgiveness means. You look past the ego and you see that person and helping them to get more caught up in the ego is not helpful to them. Okay? Forgiveness means you forgive who that person really is. It has nothing to do with condoning behavior. You know, this is a brother who is thinking that the way to feel better about himself is by cheating other people. How can I help this brother? Is letting him keep doing this helpful to this brother?
Now there is something here, and I think I build resentment for forgiving someone that let's say has borrowed some money from me, and because I don't want to be expecting the payback, I just said, don't you worry, you don't owe me anything. And then something else happened, and then broke something that was value for me. I go like, okay, yes, don't worry, I forgive about it. At some point, I said, no, you are responsible about this. You need to take care of this. You know, it was your fault. It's your responsibility. But then as the time passes, nothing is done. Nothing is done. I go like, forget it. To myself, to my own well-being, is like, I'm just not going to be like nagging and asking for, I went ahead and repair, let's say my car. Some dash was broken, dashboard, and that cost me $6,500. And things like that. I go like, okay, yeah, it was a mistake. Okay, yeah, you were upset. You were like, boom, bang, bang on something that you thought you're not gonna break, but it broke. But then when I'm gonna keep my car like that all the time, I'm gonna be waiting forever, until the money comes. So what I did is just repair it myself. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay you. When this I'm gonna pay you. I said, actually, you know what? I said, God, I don't forget about it. Just I'm doing wrong about it when I say that, just take care of yourself, be well, and forget about the dash.
Hey, you just do
Okay.
you do what brings you peace.
Yeah.
So if that's what brings you peace, then do that.
I
Yeah.
didn't, yeah, for me, exactly, because it brought me peace.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I better get going, guys, because I have that other class that I facilitate.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Love
night.
to see
bye-bye.
everybody.
Night.
Yes, okay. Paragraph 5 and 6.
I can read.
Okay.
We do not go alone, and we give thanks that in our solitude a friend has come to speak the saving word of God to us, and thanks to you for listening to him. His word is soundless if it be not heard. In thanking him, the thanks are yours as well. An unheard message will not save the world, however mighty be the voice that speaks, however loving may the message be. Thanks be to you who heard, for you become the messenger who brings his voice with you and lets it echo round and round the world. Receive the thanks of God today as you give thanks to him, for he would offer you the thanks you give, since he receives your gifts in loving gratitude and gives them back 1,000 and 100,000 more than they were given. He will bless your gifts by sharing them with you, and so they will grow in power and strength until they fill the world with gladness and with gratitude.
Yes. And so as you give, you shall receive. Pretty simple. When you offer forgiveness, you receive peace. When you offer compassion, kindness, charity, you receive peace, you receive joy. And when you do that, guess who becomes the physical representative of God in the world? You. You become the physical representative of love on earth. Each time you choose forgiveness over judgment, each time you choose compassion instead of condemnation, each time you choose to trust in the divine design instead of fear or worry or be anxious, you become who God is, love, in a physical form. So in paragraph number 5, sentence number 4, his word is soundless if it be not heard. So it's nice that we have love, but unless you show that love in the world, that the world will not experience that love that you have to offer. So you have a function today and tomorrow. And whatever that function is, whatever expression of love that is your function in that moment. Okay. My sister is anxious, or she's worried, or she's fearful. Okay. God, what's my function in that moment? Okay. What expression of love can I offer her that can help her fear and her anxiousness and her worry and her doubt? Okay, maybe I could share with her that if she practices putting that fear in God's hands, that she can have more peace. So in that moment, my function is to light the way for her to peace, to a way to have a little less anxiousness, to feel a little less anxious. And so in each and every interaction, you have a function. And that function is an expression of love, whatever that expression might be calling out for. So in the moment or in the interaction, you pay attention to what that interaction is calling for. What expression of love is that interaction calling for? And then you be that. And so there's nothing easier than that. That's all you have to do in each interaction and each moment. God, what expression of love can I offer my brother or sister right now? What expression of love can I be right now? And then be that. Sentence number 6, paragraph 5. An unheard message will not save the world. And so speak it, be it. And so be who God is inviting you to be. Thanks, paragraph 6, sentence number 1. Thanks be to you who heard, for you become the messenger who brings his voice, God's voice, with you, and lets it echo round and round the world. And so your function is to be the voice of God. And when you're the voice of God, people will remember that. And they'll say, you know what? I kind of like the way that he or she treated me in that moment. Maybe I could treat the next person the way that he or she treated me. And so your kindness echoes around the world. Any comments or questions on those 2 paragraphs?
Well, Christina left the room, but she told a story at one of the meetings about going through Starbucks and paying for the car behind her.
Right.
And they told her the next time she came around that it had gone 9 cars that way because she started it. Every car paid the one behind for 9 times. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, there you go. It lets it echo round and round the world.
Well, a friend of mine was in a dinner, and she was with 4 of her friends, and they were in their phones. She said, I put my phone down and started looking around and found a girl with Down syndrome that was celebrating her 50 years. She had a crown on her head. And she was like, oh my God, how beautiful. Oh my, I had to have a picture of them. And she went and praised this girl like, oh, you're so beautiful. You look so beautiful. Let me have a picture of you. And she took a picture. Can I have a picture of the family? She took a picture of the family. And then she sent them, And that was the only picture they got at the end, because that's what she told me. The only pictures that the one I took was the one because the father told him. And but when they left, the father took care of the bill of her and the whole table. And she was like, oh my God, I didn't expect anything, you know. But she said, you know, this Mexican gentleman, the father of this girl, that she sent me the picture. She's Down syndrome. She even put her hands right there to take a picture when she asked. She said, okay, let me see if she wants to take a picture. The father said about the girl. The girl already was like posing for the picture, you know. It was so cute. I said, that was such a beautiful thing that you did. You know, I said, and I told my friends, hey, you guys are in your phone. You see what I did. You just miss everything. But anyway, everybody got benefit from, you know, being dinner for free and had so much fun for that. Yeah. It's a beautiful sign that comes from heaven.
Yeah, and try to look for those situations every day. Even when you walk into a coffee place, how can you make the person behind the server smile, you know? Remember the server's name, you know? And I every time I write the server's names in my, for example, I write the server's name in my phones, so I remember the servers, because I go to 2 coffee places every day, in the morning and then in the afternoon, but different ones. So I write the names of every server in my phone, and then before I walk in, I look at my phone just to remember the names again, and I have a little description of each person, the name. And so when I walk in, I already know everybody's name. And you know, when you remember somebody's name, especially like a server, they're always happy. And so that's a small way you can bring light into the world, when just by walking into a coffee shop. And so I know Vanessa with the short hair, and I know Monica with the black hair, and so on and so forth. And so yeah, that's a nice way just to remember people's names. That's a way you can bring light and joy into people's lives. And then maybe, you know, they're wearing their hair different, or they have something nice on. Like if a girl had a nice vest, one of the servers had a really cool vest on today, kind of Halloweenish type, and you gave a nice compliment, a little compliment to the young lady, and she was happy about it, you know. And so you can do every little thing that you do that in any way, shape, or form lightens somebody's day. You are fulfilling your function as the light of the world that God created you to be. And so look for those opportunities. There's always opportunities.
In this experience that we have, you know, that we are changing and uplifting, nurturing ourselves. There is moments where we have these downers. I remember the other day came from the IRS a document that says we owe $25,000 for the company, 2022 fiscal year. It needed some names and people that, you know, from the company that we didn't give the correct TIN number for Social Security and stuff. Yes, it was corrected. Yes, it was sent, but they didn't have 25,000. I was like, no, oh my God, that cannot happen. You know, I want to pay that. Then someone like I got like 4 news that they were no good. One, my best client moved to West Palm. Something else was a doctor that was supposed to work for us in a project. She said she's gonna go to Canada, move back to Brazil, maybe next year. She sent me a nice email, respectful, but after a month waiting for her, I was like, this moves everything around. I had to start looking for a new doctor again for the project. So and then days after, I was like, how did I survive to all of that? I was counting. What happened? I have this news, which was no good. I have this one that was no good. This other one, oh my God. And then I started counting my blessings. I say, okay, yes, I got these new clients. Oh yes, this payment came retroactive and it was good. Oh, I can see that this, I called my nephew and I sent him some Western Union gift. Another niece that I called, same way I did my sister that I did a mess the other day. She became like nice, friendly with me, loving. I was like, that was the best thing ever happened. Since like that, little by little, I started counting. It was like a list of 22. Out of 4 things that came, one of them, you know what, is all of them connected to love. All of them are connected to gratitude, are connected to giving, receiving, are connected to forgiveness, are connected to kindness, are connected to contact someone that it's been months that I haven't talked to, that I send them, hey, I've been thinking about you, how are you doing? How's everybody in the family? I send you my hugs, I send you my blessing. I was thinking, we could meet sometime soon. So things like that. I was like, me trying to do something also, it looks like I get into the habit when something goes down, I start like, oh, wait, let me call someone. Hey, what are you guys doing? Let's have some coffee. Let's go out for a walk. So that is like changing how I'm feeling, because I was thinking, oh my God, other times I could have been like anxious, nervous, not willing to eat or something, but it got better because we are acquiring new habits, and sometimes we don't uh, recognize it, ourselves. I think it's good to see, how many times we are doing something good.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, look for the opportunities. And and one of the first paragraphs here says, "You have come far." Yeah, I can't find that sentence right now, but yeah. So take those. Look for those opportunities to bring light into the darkness, and then the more you do so, the brighter light you become, and the less the darkness affects you. Because now, when the darkness comes, hey, I can choose a way to bring light into this situation. I don't have to be stuck like in quicksand and be devoured by the madness of duality. I can find my way out, and I can be a light for somebody, or I can make that phone call. I can open the door for somebody. I can let another car in before me. Thousands of opportunities to be the light of the world. So let's try that.
Coming out of ourselves is one of them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're thinking too much into me, everything is happening to me, taking it personal. But the moment when we spread a little bit out, it's going to be a lot of, as you said, the opportunities for us to send a gift, to forgive, to offer compassion. Just a friend of mine just sent me a text, his father passed away. And I said, I'm going to be with you, one way or another, I'm going to be with you. So it's offering me opportunity to show my compassion, to be there in the spirit, to pray, and let's see what else I can do.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, 7 and 8. Would somebody like to read 7 and 8 to?
I can.
Okay.
Receive his thanks and offer yours to him for 15 minutes twice a day, and you will realize to whom you offer thanks and whom he thanks as you are thanking him. This holy half an hour give him will be returned to you in terms of years for every second, power to save the world, eons more quickly for your thanks to him. Receive his thanks, and you will understand how lovingly he holds you in his mind, how deep and limitless his care for you, how perfect is his gratitude to you. Remember hourly to think of him and give him thanks for everything he gave his son, that he may rise above the world, remembering his father and his self. Such a beautiful, it's like a poem. It's like a song. You just need to put some music right there, start like, because it's him, no. Glory to God. Yeah.
And yeah, here it says, receive his thanks and offer yours to him for 15 minutes twice a day. So something you can do, something that I do very often, is I go ahead for a little walk, and then as I'm walking, I thank the trees for their shade, and I thank God that I can walk, that I'm healthy enough to walk, and I thank God that my lungs work well, and that I can breathe, and that I can exercise. And then I thank the sun because it's giving me vitamin D. And then I thank the clouds because they're shading me from the sun sometimes when I'm getting too much sun. And whenever somebody walks by me, you can bless them. You can send them a healing word. If they're too chubby, you say, I hope they get skinnier so they can get healthier. And so you can do or if you see a dog, you kind of like smile at the dog. And or you can see how pretty a house is, how nice the garden is. And so you can walk, and for 15 minutes, you can just be grateful for so many things in those 15 minutes. And then after those 15 minutes, you look inside of yourself, and you're so bright, and you're so joyful and so happy, only because you were grateful to God and to all the gifts that He's given you. And so, yeah, so those 2 15-minute practice periods is just a little walk. Just go out for a walk and see where can I be grateful? What can I give thanks for? And then at the end of that walk, you'll be like, wow, I'm feeling so great right now. Thank you, God. Go ahead, Wendy.
Well, I should go out for more walks, but what I want to say is, I do struggle with being grateful when things are painful for me, but I don't even have to go out for a walk. It is extremely common for me. And I don't know, maybe other people do this as well, but I'll just wake up and I'll be like, I'm so happy to be in my house. If it's a weekend, I'm like, I'm so happy I can lie in bed and read for a little while. If, I'll even, if I go take a shower, I'm like, oh, it's so nice to have hot water. I just, I feel grateful for um, just all the things that are of comfort, all the things that are of beauty, all the things that are, it's just, those things are easy to be grateful for because I don't know, we're all lucky to live like this, to have enough of anything, to have too much of things even. But I do find it harder to be grateful for things that have caused me pain or upset me. Those are the things that I struggle to try to be grateful for because I don't feel grateful. I don't feel grateful when somebody's rude to me. I don't feel grateful when, somebody cuts me off. I just don't. But, I'm going to work on that. But I do find it very easy to be like right now, I'm sitting outside. I have water in front of me. I mean, this is 3 years every day. I'm like, I can't believe I get to live in front of a lake,
Yeah.
like it's the best. It's to me. And the wind is blowing through the palm trees. It's breezy out here. I feel extraordinarily lucky most days for these things. But it is hard for me to transfer that to upsetting or disturbing or, bad things, what I consider bad.
Yeah, and it's only hard because in the past you believed that it was hard. And so what if instead of, if you're thankful for your lake, why don't you thank God by trying to be a little more forgiving or a little more compassionate? That's a way to thank God. If somebody cuts you off in traffic, a way to thank God is to forgive the person who cut you off and to say a prayer for them. That's a way of thanking God. Or if somebody's rude, again, a way to thank God is to see see only the truth in his child as true. And so you see only the love in them as true. And you, inside your heart, you forgive them. And inside your heart, you bless them. That's a way to thank God. And so the more you do that, the more you see that, yeah, you belong in alignment with the mind of God, not with the ego's deceptions and past programming. And so find the opportunity to be grateful for no matter what occurs in your life. And know that's happening as it's being offered to you as an opportunity to practice being more grateful to God and trying to see the light within the darkness, and that the light exists even within the darkness. And
Well, that's the real work. I mean, that's the real work. But I've been listening to Carol Howe do the lessons, and she says, I listen to the same lesson. It's my grievance hides my light from the world. I mean, I'm just I don't know what to tell you. I'm just a grievance person. So I listen to this all the time to, move myself away from it. But she says that our function in the world is forgiveness. Like that is our actual function. That's what we're here to do. So I assume you agree with that. That forgiveness is the best way we demonstrate love.
Sure. Yes.
It's the hardest way to demonstrate love, because when you have grievance, to forgive and then feel love towards whoever has aggrieved you, that is, to me, the most difficult thing. It's very easy to feel love toward, I love my students, I love my family. It's very easy, that's easy. I love them. But when somebody I don't know, or even somebody I do know who, does what I consider does something to me, is very, that's the work. That for me is the real work, to release those grievances. Those eggs. I got a bunch of eggs. I got a whole tree of eggs.
Yeah, it's only because you've been programmed that way,
Yeah.
If you from a childhood were programmed to forgive somebody who hurt you,
Yeah.
your natural and normal response would be forgiveness and peace. But no, you weren't programmed that way. Most of us were not programmed that way. And so all it is deprogramming ourselves from programs that are not useful to fulfill our functions as the light of the world.
Yeah.
And so use anything that the ego throws your way, find a way to the light in the situation. How can I be a symbol, an expression of light in this situation, no matter what the ego's telling me?
Yeah.
And
Well,
practice being,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, practice being that over and over again. And sooner or later, they'll become your natural and normal response.
Well, I am seeing what Mike said, which is to notice the gains, which is if I can get out of grievance faster. So it's not like I'm not going to feel the grievance, but if I can release it a lot faster, which I do see that happening. And then I was telling that to a friend of mine today, and she's like, oh, it sounds like they're teaching you how to be a doormat. I was like, okay, well, we're going to have to forgive you for that.
Just forgive her. Just forgive her.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, I
say,
felt defensive, but then I was like, you know what? I said, that is not what they're teaching. That's not it.
yeah, tell her, hey, thank you for the opportunity that you have offered me to forgive you.
Yeah.
Isabel?
Yes, I wanted to say that many times that I've been also feeling hurt, feeling even deeper than that, suffering. And then, situations come and we read, and it's like, oh, suffering is an option. I was like, option. When in reality, I am feeling it. Someone is telling me this, and I've seen the criticism, I've seen the judgment. The other day, my daughter said, criticism is good, mom. I was like, And when I am in the meetings, same way, something is telling you, this is a teacher for you. Someone is pressing your buttons, something that you need to heal. So look at that. What is affecting me? Okay, it's affecting my ego. Right. So why? Yeah, I have some pride there. And what happened? Why is, this pride there? What I'm hiding? What is I don't want to show? What is I don't want them to know? What is the situation that it's like me not willing to tell? Yeah, I have insecurities. Yes, I don't want the situation that I don't want them to know this about me. Yes, if we dig deep and they forgive ourselves that we have these insecurities, that we have these things that we don't want people to know about us as well, or that I have some kind of like a secret tactic or whatever, in me that I don't want them to know. So it's like, okay, it's fine. That I can see that. So we are growing in awareness. We are going above this, being aware of our awareness, and seeing myself. Okay, I'm upset. I can see, like the other day, when Wendy was saying, I don't feel good, and I don't know why. It's like super humble, but it's like she has the strength to say it. Many times I have been, I don't say it. It's like, how are you doing, Isabel? I'm doing fine. How's life? Working, doing everything it's okay. I could be faking a smile. So I said no more. Well, it doesn't happen lately. If I'm happy, I'm happy. If I'm upset, I say no, I don't know what happened, but I don't feel good. But it takes for us to be right to say that, because something going on, almost something has been seen. I left the house or earlier or from last evening or in my dream or that I need to release. But I make it my habit. I made my habit to go to a vortex, which is a place by the Shinley Park, and it's always almost empty. And I walk barefoot. I was saying, feeling the grass and seeing this tree that it's in between the rocks. The roots of the tree went through. I was like, oof, this tree overcame the difficulties, because usually you gotta have solid, soil for the tree to be the roots to grow and expand. But this tree is like even through the rock to the went and spread its roots and still is standing. I said, wow, how magnificent, how grateful. Like we were saying about the shadows, but I was saying like, so powerful. You're standing there, it doesn't matter the hurricanes, the raining, the sun, the wind, the dark, the light. You are standing so strong. Oh my God. I call you my mother, father, God, Mama, Maria Clementina. That's the name of my mom. Because, and then I named the name of my father, and then I named my sister that passed away. I was like, this is my family. I had to always find a reason to come to this place because I feel so peaceful. I feel a place to meditate. I can pray, I can talk. I can cry, nobody sees me. So it was like, I'm feeling grateful to have this space. I don't know, I want to put a swing somewhere. I want to put some pictures. I gave the other day some offer, fruits, what else? I think some coins to an area. Like, it's like, I was, oh my God, that's the vortex. I said, yes, that's my mother, because she used to be like, I will go there and sleep, under her wings. So I feel like that's it's so embracing. So every time I pass by the area, either I stop or I say hi. But it's so nice to find a place where we can go and either meditate, to make it either your safe spot or your sacred space where we can be ourselves one way or another. Some people find the beach. You find walking by areas. Somebody has a spot in their own home, in bed, for example, with their books. They find the comfort right there. It's like, now it's my space. It's my own sacred space. I just want to share that.
Thank you. Any final comments or questions before we close?
Just thank you for doing this group.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, James.
I thank my father
Thank you, Samir.
for.
Thank you, Wendy.
All right. Thank you, folks. It was
Thank-
lovely. Let us practice
Yeah.
being grateful for everything that comes our way tomorrow and today. All right. Take care.
Grateful for you,
Thank you.
James. Thank you.
Grateful for all of you.
Bye,
Peace.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye, night-night. Sweet
Bye,
dreams.
Samir. Love you guys.